What is up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Lucid Daily. And today we have quite a bit of new news that we need to talk about. So let's go ahead and get started. Very first off, let's go ahead and look how we did in terms of the sticks today. Let me go ahead and pull it up on my end really quick. Perfect. So you saw Lucid was down 1% on the day. They are up at 0.05% in the after hours. So really, they're relatively flat in the after hours. And it was a super chill day. They didn't have anything too crazy go on. They did hit a low today of about 884. It looks like maybe a little lower at the open, but then they gradually went into the close. Then they fell back down, but then they're relatively flat in the after hours. In the last 5 days, they are down 6%. Over the last month, they are actually up 15%, which is quite surprising. So I will definitely, I know we talked about this a little bit last week, but that $13 is a really interesting reminder about where a bottom potentially could be for Lucid. Obviously, the next biggest catalyst that I think we have on our horizon, in the near term, we do have the shareholder letter that we'll get to here in a minute. But other than that, the next earnings really, hopefully we don't have any other bad news. The only other bad news that could come out between now and earnings, I think, is really just a revision in estimates. So hopefully, let's cross our fingers that we don't have any kind of bad news come out pre-earnings. But if they do have things that they do need to talk about, we do want them to obviously let us know in advance. And if you compare their performance to Tesla today was also relatively flat, up 0.25%, down 0.25%. So almost perfectly flat. They were down 0.27 in the after hours and up 0.25 during the day today. So down on the whole day, down 0.02. So again, relatively chill day in the market. There wasn't anything too crazy that went on. If you compare it to the SPY, you did see a little bit of a rally in the SPY today, which is interesting. You saw that SPY open up super low and it kind of rallied throughout the day and it actually closed up almost 1%, which is interesting, leaving behind Lucid and Tesla. So there wasn't any major catalyst, so I wouldn't have anything to worry about when it comes to that. All right, so let's get into the next big news today. So the other big news today was that there are now lease and loan options that Lucid announced through Bank of America. They said that rates would be competitive, and I looked on their website and I looked all through the Lucid forums. I did quite a bit of scouring. I did not find any percentages yet from Bank of America. You probably have to apply and everything to get some sort of percentage from them, because I was really curious what their lease and loan per APR would look like. So if they say that they're going to be competitive, I would imagine they're going to be around 3.74% ballpark around there, because that's what Tesla has their APR at. So if they're a higher end luxury vehicle, I don't know if it'll be a lower APR or if it'll be a higher APR. I really have no idea. So let me know down in the comments what you think Lucid's loan and lease options will be. And if that changed your mind, whether you're going to purchase a car or not. So they are doing that through Bank of America, and Tesla actually just recently raised their APR. So I wonder if they're going to jump up like to Tesla's APR, if they're going to try to undercut Tesla as much as they can and stay lower. That'll be interesting to see. Next, we do have the shareholders meeting June 9th. We talked about this for like a couple minutes yesterday. Mainly, there was like 200 something pages of notes. I didn't really want to look through all those notes. I'm just going to take notes on the actual meeting when it comes out. So subscribe if you want to stay up to date with that. I will try to take as good of notes as possible and try to stay as up to date as possible for you guys. So subscribe, and we'll talk then. Now I really want to get to the meat of this video and talk about what I think it's something that I wish Lucid could take an opportunity of. I think it's an opportunity that they could take advantage of. And I think if they play their cards right, it could be a really good situation for them. Let me go ahead and share my screen with you guys and show you guys what I'm talking about. Give me one sec here. All right. So this was kind of yesterday's news, but I'm going to put an interesting spin on it. And this is actually regarding Tesla. But I think that there's something interesting we can think about here from a different perspective. Hear me out on this. So Troy Teslike he posts a lot of statistical information on Tesla, not very much to do with the stock, nor like any kind of politics with the company, mainly just statistical when it comes to registrations and deliveries. That's his forte. If you want to stay up to date with that, follow him on Twitter. Super good. So he tweeted out 16 hours ago, the wait time for new Model 3 orders in China has just dropped. So I updated my calculation for Tesla's worldwide backlog. I also added Giga Berlin. Currently, the backlog is 497,000 units, which is an all-time high. This is based on the wait time and production rates of each model. So let's read the next tweet, and I'll explain why I'm sharing this with you guys. He then shares, here are Model Y wait times in the United States by trim level. Long-range buyers who took delivery in June waited 244 days on average, while performance buyers waited 104 days. So these people are waiting a little under a third of a year and sometimes almost half a year in order to get their Model Y. Now, I just wish that Lucid could ramp and take advantage of this, saying like, hey, like you want a car, here's a car. And I know with luxury vehicles it's a little different, but the price points of a performance Model Y are still less than actually, let's look, what's the price point. Let me pull up my screen here with you guys. We're going to look at the price point between a Model Y and we're going to look at the Air Pure. So if you go to Tesla's website right now, let me make this full screen because I think this is going to be a really interesting comparison. If you go to the Tesla Model Y and you go to the performance, $59,000. And if you include like, you can add a bunch of different stuff, but if you include FSD, it comes out to $79,000 for the actual vehicle price. Now, if you go to Lucid's website, I didn't spell that right. Oh, well, if you go to Lucid's website and you reserve your Air Pure, it comes out to $87,000. And I think there's enough people that don't want to have to wait. Obviously, not that whole percentage, but I think there is a percentage. I don't know what that is, but I have to imagine there's got to be a percentage of people that don't want to wait and just want an EV. And I think that Lucid could really, like, if they could ramp a faster, like, I know this is something that's almost like easier said than done, which it definitely is. But with these wait times, people are going to get annoyed and look for other EV alternatives, just even in the meantime, and they can flip their cars because EVs are holding their values relatively well. People are just going to want to get an electric vehicle and not have to wait. Or if they don't want a Tesla, but they want like a reliable electric vehicle, I feel like the Air Pure can do that. So if they can actually get those out by the end of the year, I feel like Lucid could be a good sedan, a good option for people that are wanting to get a sedan that is a little more on the luxury side. So that was kind of something that I was thinking when I saw these. Is like, man, that wait time is insane. Like if Lucid could get a turnaround of like 50 days, 75 days, but it sounds like they're going to be waiting a year or two at this point. So hopefully we can get those wait times. Actually, technically, if they hit their delivery target of 24,000 this year, I think they have 31,000 reserved. So hopefully you're not waiting later till Q1 of 2023, which if we go back to my example here, what is the earliest you can get your let's say long range. Let's play a little bit of the numbers here. You'll be waiting for Lucid. That I think is a game changer, and I think that's where Lucid can become slightly more competitive. Obviously, Tesla has 10 years more of production than Lucid does, and they have a whole different array of skill sets as well as unique advantages that Lucid doesn't necessarily have. But man, like, that's an extremely intriguing thing. If you're like, oh, I have to wait till March, but maybe you could get your Air Pure that has more range. I think the Model Y is 318, and the Air Pure, how many miles does it have? I always forget. I get the miles mixed up. That's the Grand Touring, Air Pure, 406 miles. So like, I think that is actually where Lucid can be competitive with Tesla's Model Y, is in that long range format, and the Air Pure gets more range than the Tesla Model Y. Super interesting, super intriguing, and something that I really think would push people over the edge. I don't know if this is a Lucid issue or what, but if Lucid could integrate Apple CarPlay, I did not think this was a big issue. I don't drive a car that has CarPlay, so maybe that's why. But I know my family that does have a car that has CarPlay loves it. There are Tesla people that love the Tesla UI, and there's also Tesla people that wish they could have CarPlay and just keep it simple like this. I think if Lucid could integrate Apple CarPlay, that could be a competitive advantage that they could have against Tesla. Are they going to get 1 million orders because of it? No. But I think people that are on the edge, that are indifferent between Tesla and Lucid, if you add 400 miles of range versus 318 and CarPlay, becomes a lot more interesting and a lot more competitive in terms of making a decision. And I think we'll see reservations go up. But then all of a sudden you'll have the problem that Tesla has right now: too much demand, not enough production. So it's a give and take. But I really think that this is something critical that Lucid could take advantage of, is pushing that Air Pure to be produced by the end of the year by beating Model Y wait times. If they could advertise that, like, hey, like, you get your Air Pure before the Model Y and you get more range and you have CarPlay, it's like, boom, like, sold. And we have financing now. Like, those three things become a distinct competitive advantage that Lucid has against Tesla. And again, this is for people that are on the edge of getting a Lucid versus a Tesla, or that just want to break into the EV space but are indifferent to the brand. So that's just my 2 cents. I hope you guys find my point of view interesting. If you like my point of view, if you think that it's intriguing and you want to know more about why I think the way I think about these companies, consider subscribing. I try to be Lucid's harshest critic as well as one of their biggest advocates. So this was more of an opinion piece about being an advocate for Lucid, but sometimes I'm pretty harsh on them and I say like, hey, like this is unacceptable. We need to do these things. So consider subscribing if you enjoy that middle of the road. I don't try to be super like pump the stockish, but I also try not to like poo poo on the stock. I try to just be fair. That's what I want. So, and I wish there was more of that on YouTube. I hope you guys have appreciated this video. And if you guys get sort of value from it, consider subscribing. If you do want additional ways to support the channel, I have had a couple of you reach out to me. Check out the memberships linked down below. They're not linked. There's just like a join button next to the subscribe button, like next to the like button. I was like the like button. So if you guys want to become a channel member, I would really appreciate it. And if you guys want additional perks, I'd be more than happy. I think one of you guys suggested, I think Lucid suggested that that I put my valuation spreadsheets for Lucid in there. That's definitely something. If you guys want to become channel members, I'd be happy to do that, or vice versa. I'll do that, and then you can become channel members. But again, like always, I appreciate the support, and I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your day. And like always, see you tomorrow. Have a good one.